Yeah, my name is Carlos, and I'm a average American. I was an architect until I retired. I'm still an architect. I'm still licensed as an architect and can still practice. But anyway, I'm just an average American with American values, and all this political stuff lately has really got me a little bent out of shape. But like most people, but I just want to express some thoughts and views. Right now, I want to focus on Trump and the election and why he got elected, which the media doesn't seem to understand, and neither does Hillary. When she's running around on these tours trying to explain why she lost, and she says she accepts blame, but she really doesn't accept any blame. She's just crazy about blaming the Russians and Trump and all this stuff that happened. I mean, we're talking about one of the most corrupt people on the planet here. I won't get into that. I mean, you can find your own information on that. I mean, it's so easy to find how corrupt the Clintons are, how terrible they are, how unscrupulous and so forth. Um, I mean, with the Clinton Foundation and all that. And that's just the little stuff. The big stuff happened back in Arkansas, but you can look all that up yourself. Anyway, let's talk about Trump and why he won and why the media didn't pick up on it, and how they tried to fool us and trick us into believing that Hillary was winning all along during the primaries. It started during the primaries, with the pollsters. They were they kept telling us Trump was behind by 5 points or 10 points or 15 points. He wouldn't win this state. He wouldn't win that state, and he kept winning. And and then this carried right into the main election, where my friends and I were talking. A lot of my friends, were Democrats, and a lot weren't. But I live in Orange County, and in Southern California is mainly Democratic, but Orange County is a pocket of there's a pocket of right wing here also. But anyway, I'm not either one. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. Never have been. I've always been an independent. But the point is that I realized a long time ago that neither one of these parties was going to help us. The common man, they were all thought for themselves. We needed term limits. All these lifetime politicians. We needed to get rid of that. I knew that 30 years ago. Not that I'm smarter than anybody. A lot of people knew that. But those of us who know these things, we're working. We don't, they don't talk to us. They don't. The pollsters don't talk to us. They don't get our opinion. They don't. The media, the media's running around, and the pollsters are running around interviewing all these college students and people on the street, people who aren't working, people that they don't have anything better to do, people that don't even know what they're talking about. And the funny part is, they get these pollsters. They put together all this data, and they put it on the news, and they say, they give us all this false data because they're talking to the wrong people. And that's why it's really part of the fake news going on there. So I made a lot of money during the final election because I bet a lot of these people, a lot of them were even Republicans that thought that Hillary was going to win. Right near the end, Hillary had it in the bag by 15 points supposedly, right? I was betting $100 a pop trying to get odds from these people. Trump was down 3-1, 4-1 on the Vegas odds. I was making all these bets, and the reason I knew that Trump was going to win was because of what happened during the primaries. It wasn't rocket science. The pollsters were doing the same damn thing, talking to the wrong people. And then if you looked at certain independent polls, they had it right. I don't know the names of these polls, and Trump actually knew this. They had it. I mean, Trump didn't know exactly what was going on, but nobody did. But we did know that some of the polls had Trump ahead. These were the polls that were polling the working man. The working man was never being polled. The working man, the red states, they're at work. They're in manufacturing. They got businesses to run. Myself, when I was working, I was working. I wasn't running around talking to people and, news people at Disneyland or something. It was crazy. In fact, half these people, you've seen the interviews with Jay Leno and this guy, this new guy, Waters World and all that. They talk to these young college students. Some of them are even like history majors and so forth. They can't even tell you who the damn Secretary of State is today, or the vice president, or who was Kennedy's Secretary of State, stuff like that. They don't know any of this shit. And then they're expressing their opinion about NAFTA and immigration and all this crap, and what are these people, the dreamers, and all that. And then they don't vote. These people that interview and poll, they don't even vote. So that's why the polls were wrong. They were so wrong, and I knew this, and I knew that by the time the main election came around. I go, oh no, Trump's going to win this because everyone I know that understands what's going on wants to get rid of the status quo. They want to drain the swamp. They were talking about draining the swamp long before Trump was elected. They didn't use those words. Anyway, I made a lot of money off of those bets, obviously. And then now we have a situation where Trump got into power, and then, of course, they're fighting. The left, the Hillary, and all these people, they just can't admit that they can't face the fact that Trump won and won legitimately. This popular vote business, it's another story I can get into. That's totally not true, but because redistricting and all this other kind of stuff. But the point is, Trump can't get his agenda through it. He's totally devoted to this thing. This is a rich man. Didn't have to do this job. He could have stayed there, partied, played golf. He has plenty of money. It's not about the money. People think he's trying to make money. That's insane. The guy was making way more money before he became president, and he's certainly losing money now. And by the way, all his hotel profits from his Washington hotels, they go straight to the Federal Reserve, which is pretty goddamn broke, as we know. He doesn't make money off that. He'll be rich forever because of his previous investments. But he's got grandchildren like I do, and like a lot of people do. All us baby boomers, we have grandkids, and we care about that in their future. And we care about the debt and deficit because of that, and wars and all that too. He cares just as much about that stuff. He's got a son. He's got grandson and a son. His son. He could be his grandson, obviously, but he's got children and grandchildren and all the whole thing going on. And don't believe that he's become president because he's selfish. Obviously you need an ego to become president. And one of the reasons he became president is because he thinks and talks like the average Joe sitting at the sports bar. So I'm sorry that these guys seem like sexual deviants to some women, but that's the way people talk at sports bars and stuff. And his mistake is making that the norm. But that's what got him elected, because all these guys, red state, sports bar guys, and women too, they understand what he's thinking and what he's saying. They understand all of it. And the left wing, the left side, and Hollywood, these people, they're crazy. They're hypocrites because they're actually worse. Look at this Weinstein thing. That's the tip of the iceberg. This has been going on for 50, 60 years in Hollywood. This couch cashing business. We all know about that. Come on, that for them to pretend they're such women's rights people and all that. And Hillary, women, that's crazy. She's the worst women's rights person in the world, because, look at what she did. Her husband's cheating with all these women. There's a trail of them all the way back to Arkansas. There's got to be maybe 50 or 100, and every single one she's destroyed. She's basically destroyed when they tried to come forward and stuff. Destroyed them, one way or another. She destroyed them. Come on. And you call that a women's rights person who's just destroying women who her husband is literally raping, getting pregnant? He got a black girl pregnant when he was in Arkansas. This is in the movie with John Travolta. I forget the name of the movie. Where he played the president and was basically playing Clinton. And they showed that in that movie, that he had one of his black politician friends. He got his daughter pregnant way back in Arkansas. He's friends with the blacks. Oh my God. Anyway. Like I said, all this Clinton stuff's available on the internet. You gotta weed through and find it. And, there's a lot of BS on the internet. Come on, we all know that too. But you need to be able to vet that stuff and counter check it against other stuff, and you can figure out what's probably true and what's probably not true. But where there's smoke, there's fire. Let's face it. So that's what I'm going to talk about right now. Trump won. Polls were wrong. A lot of us knew he was going to win. There's a lot of people who figured this out, and I'll have another video come out soon on some other topics. I'll talk about money, the Federal Reserve, how they're cheating us, how they've been doing it for years, and who's responsible and all that. All right. Bye.